Good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News. My name is Ishara Nautuna. Let's take a look at the headlines first. President's endorsement to death penalty for drug criminals. The Premier says all measures are put in place to achieve sustainable development goals. Compensation are being made to wind-affected people. Suicide bomber kills 14 in Pakistan. Now let's take a look at the news in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena states that he will sign the documents pertaining to implementation of death sentence on the criminals convicted of drug-related crimes. President Sirisena made the comment at a public program held at the Gatapi grounds in Kandy. The Minister of Education and Presidential Task Force on Anti-Drug Movement organised the program in Kandy to save school children from the drug menace. The theme of the program is Strength from School to Control Spread of Drugs. The inaugural program commenced at the Gatapi grounds in Kandy today. The President said that he would not be hesitated to take corrective decisions that need to make the country morally sound. The government officers who contributed to make drug prevention program a success were awarded at the event. The President also awarded 2 million rupees to Oral Cancer Unit of the Medical Faculty of the University of Peradeniya. The fund was handed over to the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Upul Dissanayake. Representatives of more than 1,100 Gama Niladhari divisions joined the event. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says all measures have been taken to meet sustainable development goals in Sri Lanka. The Premier made the comment addressing the South Asian Speakers Summit. The South Asian Speakers Summit was inaugurated at the Parliamentary Complex under the aegis of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The theme of the summit is Achieving Sustainable Development Goals. The South Asian speakers who are attending the Pali were warmly welcomed by Speaker Karu Jayasuriya.
It is a pleasure to be part of this gathering of decision-making from the South Asian region who are invested in the ambition agenda of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. It is noteworthy that the speakers of South Asia have taken the initiative to institutionalize a South Asian Speakers Forum. I must also say that we have been a very active body in that regard. The South Asian Speakers Summit provides us with the opportunity annually to review progress, identify gaps, and collectively generate momentum to achieve the mammoth undertaking. We have the solemn responsibility of holding the destiny of future generations in our hands.
The keynote address was delivered by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The success of achieving the SDG to a large extent depends on South Asia. We have 20 to 25% of the world's population, and we have the biggest challenge of poverty. We also happen to be the fastest growing region today. So all these combined, and if in the process SDG goals are met and we must meet them, then the world would have succeeded. If we do not, then the SDG will not become a reality in all parts of the world. The transformation, this global compact for transformation to balance development and sustainability requires a huge effort by the executive as well as the non-governmental sector. It also requires the political will to carry it through. The role that the parliaments play is ensuring that the political will is there to implement the SDGs. And this is where the honorable members of the parliament who are here from Sri Lanka, who are remiss in not welcoming together with the ambassadors, play a major role. This has been recognized in South Asia, and I'm sorry, the president of the International Parliamentary Union, Gabriel. The speakers of the South Asian Parliament have realized this, and included it in the Dakar Declaration of the Speakers Summit 2016 and the Indore Declaration of the Speakers Summit of 2017. Because these declarations create a framework for parliamentary action and also to empower executive action. Sustainable development in our part of the world requires economic growth to find the resources which is needed to implement these proposals. Now this is the challenge we have. We cannot do so at the cost of sustainability. It is not growth at any cost. Economic growth today requires the integration of environmentally sustainable policies together with growth policies. And this is the task that we have set ourselves. First and foremost is to ensure that we uphold the Paris Climate Agreement. There is no way in which we could move out of the Paris Climate Agreement. It is a starting point. And if we are all committed, we can certainly go ahead in making the SDGs a reality.
The people who are affected by heavy winds are being compensated. Several areas right across the island were hit by increasing winds yesterday and today. The Met Department warns that the windy weather condition will continue further in next few days. Homagama, Meegoda, Kajugahayatadenia and several other areas were severely affected by the windy weather situation during the early hours of today. It is reported that more than 50 housing units have been damaged. Electricity and telecommunication towers have also been collapsed due to the gusty winds. A huge tree had fallen at the Cowdown area in Mount Lavinia early in the morning due to the winds and incessant rain. Several housing units have been damaged by the fallen tree. 4 buildings of Christchurch College of Badegama have also been affected by the gusty winds prevailed yesterday. School children and teachers were immediately evacuated from the place. Nobody in the school has received damages due to the winds. Meanwhile, police decided to suspend transportation on the Hatton-Diagama Road due to the landslide threats. Landslide threat has been posed in the LC area of the Central Hills with the incessant rains. A part of Diagama Road has also been damaged due to a landslide. Meanwhile, Deputy Director of the National Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, emphasizes that his organization is ready to face any disaster situation and dispatch relief measures without any delay. The Cabinet has granted its approval to facilitate newly incorporated local government institutions. The proposal was presented by Faiza Mustafa, Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Government, to allocate 540 million rupees from Treasury to facilitate the newly incorporated 10 local government institutions. The Cabinet of Ministers have also granted their approval to establish an elephant detention centre for the 2 elephants in the Singharaja Reserve. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, Minister of Sustainable Development, Wildlife and Regional Development, to take over 36 hectares land in Parugala area in Dolekanda Grama Niladari division for this purpose. A housing program will be implemented for displaced families in the Valley Oya area. According to the Cabinet approval, a housing project to construct 1,084 houses will be implemented and more than 256 displaced families will be accommodated. The Cabinet has granted its approval to allocate land blocks to construct the Kerawalapitia Natural Gas Power Station. The proposal of Ranjit Siambalapitia, Minister of Electricity and Renewable Power Energy, to conduct a proper environmental evaluation and consequently allocate 110-acre government land situated in the Kerawalapitia area to Lanka Electricity Board to construct proposed natural gas power stations was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. Meanwhile, technical consultation will be sought for the successful implementation of Samurdhi beneficiaries' empowerment programs. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by P. Harrison, Minister of Social Empowerment, to enter into Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of Social Empowerment Sri Lanka and Thailand International Cooperation Agency in order to acquire technical consultation through Thailand's One Tamban, One Product Entrepreneur Motivation Program. A rapid program will be implemented to issue land grants with respect to government lands. The combined proposal presented by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as the Minister of National Policies and Economic Affairs and Gayantha Karunatilaka, Minister of Land and Parliament Reforms, to implement a rapid program to provide 1.1 million land grants during 2018 to 2020 was approved by the Cabinet Ministers. The combined proposal presented by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as the Minister of National Policies and Economic Affairs and Gayantha Karunatilaka, Minister of Land and Parliament Reforms, to implement a rapid program to provide 1.1 million land grants during 2018 to 2020 was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers.
The 20th Amendment to the Constitution has been published in the Gazette. The amendment includes abolishing executive presidency and several other points. The amendment has been handed over by parliamentarian of JVP Vijitha Herath as a private member's bill. The 20th Amendment has proposed to scrap executive presidency and create a portfolio of presidency that is responsible to the parliament. According to the 20th Amendment, the president will be the head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. The term of office of the president will be limited to a 5-year time. If the 20th Amendment gets approved, it will come into effect after the current president's term of office. The government says it will still subsidize a fuel price for the convenience of the general public. Though crude oil price in the world market has increased by $41 since year 2016, the government cushioned up the burden. The present government, which came into power in year 2015, reduced fuel price drastically to slash the cost of living. During the previous regime, a litre of petrol was sold for 162 rupees in 2013. Soon after ascension to the power, the present government reduced it to 117 rupees by giving a 45 rupees subsidy to the people. In 2013, a litre of diesel was sold for 111 rupees and the current government took measures to reduce the price to 95 rupees. The current administration took measures to slash the fuel prices while shouldering a huge cost. The manufacturing cost of octane 92 was 132 rupees and 37 cents and the government bore 15 rupee loss during the past period. The government also incurred a loss of 40 rupees for diesel. Veteran lawyer, President's Counsel Hemantha Varnakulasuriya has passed away. Hemantha Varnakulasuriya is a well-known diplomat and a legal expert. He was 74 years old at his demise. Hemantha Varnakulasuriya was receiving treatments at a private hospital in Colombo and died last night. He is identified as an expert who contributed to educate the public over the democratic rights and public supremacy. Late Hemantha Varnakulasuriya is the father-in-law of Deputy Minister Buddhika Pathirana. 2 people were killed in an accident that took place in Vaunia. 5 people sustained injuries in the accident too.
A passenger bus and a container truck had collided head-on at the Pulyankulam area of Vaunia. Driver of the lorry and another person lost their lives on the spot. The injured people were rushed to the Vaunia and Mankulam hospitals. Pulyankulam police conducts further investigations. Meanwhile, 2 young women were killed in a train accident in between the Gampaha and Daralua railway stations. Police stated that the deceased are residents of Minuangoda and Nigambo. It has been revealed that they are workers of a garment factory in the Katunayaga area.
A woman and man have been arrested with possession of 500 packets of heroin in Panadura. The arrest was made following a tip-off received by the Panadura North Police. The raid was conducted in the Rathuwatta area, Panadura. It was revealed that son of the suspected woman used to run the illegal drugs selling network. The woman has become part of the nexus as his son is in the remand custody. The suspects will be produced before courts. The Colombo High Court decided to hear the petition that requests to declare the members who were appointed to the Maharagama Municipal Council vying under the emblem of motorbike are unqualified to hold the positions.
21 candidates who contested for the municipal council under the UNP ticket have filed the petition. The Colombo High Court also ordered if necessity arises, the defendants can file their objection before the 30th of this month. The court ordered a mobile phone company to submit a detailed report to the CID pertaining to the SIM cards that have been used by the company's Commander Arjun Aloysius and SIM cards that have been issued to Arjun Aloysius himself. The court gave the order following a request made by the senior state counsel who appeared on behalf of the Attorney General. The State Counsel informed the court that Arjun Aloysius has said his SIM cards were damaged at a swimming pool in Singapore. The lawyers of the W.M. Mendes company objected to obtain all the data stored in computer servers of the W.M. Mendes company and perpetual treasuries. Meanwhile, the court ordered to further remand the owner of the perpetual treasuries, Arjun Aloysius, and Chief Executive Officer of Perpetual Treasuries, Kasun Palisena, till the 19th of this month. Meanwhile, a woman was convicted to death for throwing a tennis ball with 3.15 grams of heroin to the Valikata prison and engaging in drug trafficking. She was apprehended on the 20th of January 2011 under the allegations.
And that's all we have for you on Prime TV News. Do join us again tomorrow at the same time. Have yourself a pleasant evening. Good night.